Shakara, Tom Shattuck here with Alice K. Shattuck Esquire. Still reeling off a vicious attack on Twitter. My goodness, how has this happened? Indeed, I stood up for free speech just a few days ago. When
was it for free speech or was it for AOC being hot?
For AOC, both things. For free speech and free expression. AOC can be hot. Why would I stop her from being hot? God bless her. I'm all for it. I'm for beautiful women being beautiful. I think AOC is beautiful. That's fine. Adam Carolla said last Thursday that AOC would not be as popular if she was old and fat as she is now.
Well, I mean, I think that's demonstrably true because Rashida Tlaib does not have the same fan base that AOC
Correct.
does.
AOC is beautiful. The symmetry of her face is lovely. Her mouth is lovely. Her teeth are lovely. Her eyes are lovely. Her head is lovely. It's just one of these things. Now, I am somebody who historically, has not benefited from such symmetry. Though I hung out with people who have. I was just talking to my friend downstairs, Mike, who has. We had a friend named Wiki, which is his nickname is Zukowski, and he is the most beautiful man on the earth. Tall, dark, handsome, Polish. Polish people are really good looking. Perfect features. And Wiki, Alice, 20 years ago when I was a single man, and 25 years ago, Wiki used to do a thing called hook up all the time. Well, Tom didn't. Wiki tried to tell me one time how to hook up. He said he heard me arguing on the phone with a woman who I was supposedly supposed to date, but of course I'm arguing with a woman I'm supposed to date, which shows you my acumen for dating. And he said, Tom, you just got to be cool, confident, and just be reserved and let her make the first move and let her come to you. Which is a great thing to say if you're Wiki, because he had zero input into how he was connecting with women because he was a perfect 10 of a man. He was perfect looking. I'm not gay, Alice, but if I was, I would be honored to have slept with this guy. Honored to have. And so would Mike downstairs, my friend Mike. Mike would have too. Any man would have.
Maybe you would have check with people before you go out on that limb.
Any man would have said, you know what? Even if we're not gay, you know what? That guy, that would be bragging rights for me. You know what? I'm not even gay now. And I would say, if I had drunkenly hooked up with him, I would tell you, Alice, look at that. That's who I hooked up with.
What do you want me to say to that?
No, I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to react to that.
I don't know how I would react to that.
He was better looking than most women I've been with in my life.
Okay.
Other than you. Well, so would you have a problem with that if I had?
I might think differently about you.
Really?
Maybe.
You don't know how good looking he was.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Let's move away.
Anyway, AOC's
good looking. So I said
but
AOC
apparently
was good
that's
looking.
illegal to say.
Yeah. So AOC was good looking, and I said that, and Essie Cup was salty. Essie Cup used to be a Fox News babe when she had the cute librarian glasses and did her thing, and then moved over to CNN headline news essentially, and whatever. Fine. So I found a lot of productivity in Essie Cup coming after me for coming after her. Because
you didn't attack her though first, right? Didn't she? Get mad at you?
I tweeted that good-looking women get perks. It's known. Retweeted her. She follows me, so I thought or hoped, as I'm a cheap prostitute, hoped that it would get me some Twitter
attention,
and it did. So she went after me or whatever, and her Twitter followers did. It was wonderful because I can't lose. She's got 1 million followers. I have 7,800, and I don't.
7,900 now.
I don't seem to be able to reach 8,000. That is it. That is the amount of people who can take Tom Shattuck at all. That is
it. More than I would have guessed, but maybe some of them are like spam accounts.
Maybe they are. I hope they are. Whatever they are, keep them coming. So then fine. So that was a win-win for me. So then this woman named Shannon, what's her name?
Shannon Watts.
Shannon Watts was one of the other ones who attacked me too. So I was going through my Twitter today.
She's a professional gun control activist.
So I was going through my Twitter today, and I get a lot of crap. I get a lot of stuff on. So I'm not trying to be cool, guys. I'm not. But I get a lot of tweets and messages, etc. So I looked at the notifications. And I saw today that she's going after me too, and that she's got 500,000 followers. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll reply to her, which I did. This is a woman whose claim to fame is being a gun control. She's a gun control.
She started
person.
that group, Moms Demand Action, right after Sandy Hook.
Right after Sandy Hook, which would tell you that wow, it's a Sandy Hook mom. But of course she's not.
She's like from the
As
Midwest.
we know, so I went back at her, and I got this idiot now from Boston, who's a TV producer or whatever, going after me for going after a Sandy Hook mom. Now it's beautiful, because she's not even denying it.
Right.
And she's yelling at me. She can't quit me, is the problem today. She can't stop, and she's just tweeted at me again as I'm sitting here.
Did she tweet at you again?
Yes. Chip Coins and Shannon Watts. I'm afraid voices telling you I'm a part of the conversation I haven't seen just because you're stalking others. She's trying to accuse me of what she's doing. She's stuck, and I understand her. I'm getting the better of her on Twitter, so she can't quit. So the last thing I said is, weird Sandy Hook stolen valor. You were happy to accept what happened, never correcting schizophrenia. She says, I'm afraid the voices are telling you I'm a part of a conversation I haven't seen. Just because you're stalking others on Twitter doesn't mean that you're all singularly obsessed with me. Have you thought about watching sports on Sunday? So this dude is going after me for going after a Sandy Hook mom. Of course, he's an idiot, Chip Goins. She's not a Sandy Hook mom. She's just an opportunist. And she's after me. He doesn't even correct himself. He, part of a news organization, said out loud, it's a Sandy Hook mom you're going after. How dare you? Have you dared to listen to her story as he dunks at me? Of course, she's not a Sandy Hook mom.
Maybe you should Google her, he says to you.
Right, which he hasn't done.
And he said, oh, Mal, I can't believe, if you're a professional hot take guy, maybe you should know who Shannon Watts is, as he gets wrong completely who Shannon Watts is in front of all of us.
Now, so what will happen now, let me tell you what will happen now, is that after the show is over, I will send one more tweet that makes him uncomfortable, that squeezes him, and he will apologize to the world. And I've got this mother right where I want him.
Okay.
Right where I want him.
So stay tuned, everybody.
But it's
for
interesting
Tom's epic
that
tweet
this guy.
takedown.
No, it's not. That's
okay.
The point is that this guy is trying to destroy me based on a false assumption because he's a stupid. He's got a tiny little brain. Shannon Watts, who's the moms of no guns anymore,
Moms Demand Action,
has a tiny brain. And I want you to know this, Shannon Watts and Chip Goins, dumb, small brainy. I know everything you're thinking and everything you're going to think. I know the stuff you're thinking in the third layer, the fourth layer, and the fifth layer. I know the stuff that you're afraid to think out loud. I know everything that you could possibly think. I'm right there. I've got the intel on you. There's nothing you can do about it. And I will use it to torture you. And the only reason is because you're trying to destroy me. And people who try to destroy me or any other person with no reason whatsoever for fake motivations, anybody who's willing to take a shot at somebody and destroy somebody's life, like this guy Chip Coins is, using Sandy Hook, using dead kids in little coffins. That's where his mind is. Yeah, I can use the little coffins now against somebody. Listen, motherfucker, you're going to feel it, okay? It ain't going to be good for you, my friend. You want to feel what using something like that does to somebody? You're going to feel it. Now, I'm not trying to be vengeful here, Alice. I'm just saying, and I look at like what happened to Joe Rogan, and Rogan apologized today for saying the N-word 40 times. It's like,
and The Rock apologized.
This is not a one-way. This is not a one-way game where you get to take sniper shots and have fatalities, and the other side doesn't. I'm going to claim every little scalp I can. And Shannon Watts, I ain't done with you, sweetie. And just because she thinks that she is condescended a little bit better than me, even though I'm under her skin, and she'll never stop.
Well, the thing that's so insane, too, is, like, she's being like, oh, you're, like, keep replying to me. You're not replying to her. She came into your mentions and your tweets.
Exactly.
About the tweets about AOC to be mad at you in your tweets, Mr.
Right.
8,000 followers. She coming into your tweets to yell at you about AOC being hot and then, like, telling you that something's wrong with you for replying. Like, that's what's insane.
Well, that's the whole thing, too, is that the left, that's a great thing about them, is that they take total shots at you, and if you dare, it's like, oh my God, they like European soccer players. Oh, and they fall on the ground. How dare you? I can't believe you're attacking me. No, sweetie, you went after me. Now I'm going
for no reason at all.
Right, exactly. But I wanted to go after you with no ramifications at all. I wanted to destroy you.
Yeah,
because I'm a New York Times staffer or whoever it is, and I want to be able to destroy lives, but I don't want my life destroyed. Well, guess what? Not everybody plays by those rules. I have nothing. I make no money, really. My wife makes all the money. And you can't destroy Tom Shattuck. The only thing you can do if you destroy me is make me bigger because I am nothing right now. The Burn Barrel podcast has exactly 0 advertisers. We can't find the time to advertise in the damn thing. I'm sure we can get a whole bunch of them. But I'm not going down like that. I'm happy to. You know this, Alice. We are happy to. We're the Shaddocks. We are happy to. We are white trash adjacent. And we can go right over to the white trash hood and live in a freaking trailer and barely survive in a second. We can do it. Well, so Shannon Watts and Chip Goins, you freaking moron, you idiot, small brain dumb cough. You can do whatever you want and try to dunk on me using the Sandy Hook kids, but guess what's coming up? Guess what's coming to you, Chip? It's coming right back to you, my friend.
Well, and what's incredible, too, is it's not like you brought up Sandy Hook.
No!
You weren't talking about Sandy Hook at all.
He's using something which was the most horrific child massacre that we know of in our history. In the state, by the way, where I have a talk show and talk to the parents of those kids. It's a horrific thing. It's a fresh Holocaust that this kid is bringing up. But it's easy because that's just a weapon for him. Yeah, I get to use the kids and the dead kids. You mother... Chip Goins, guess what? You and I are just getting to know each other, my friend. Just getting to know each other.
Well, and what's so incredible is, like, you weren't the one who brought it up, but she's totally vulnerable on that point because she has literally made a career for herself off of Sandy Hook with absolutely 0 association with the actual event.
Oh, yeah, and she was happy to see it happen.
And what has she achieved to prevent a future Sandy Hook? Like, even, so he's saying, like, well, she's friends with Sandy Hook parents. Well, okay, mister, she's friends with Sandy Hook parents. I don't know how that works exactly, like, how that getting a pass to be friends with the dead kid's parents works, like, to then claim to be one of them. I don't know how that works. But, you know, even if you're friends with her and you, like, want to prevent future Sandy Hooks and, you know, you're going to go with the narrative that she was just... you know, that she's not just a professional activist who took advantage of this situation, that she was, like, so emotionally deeply moved that she was moved to try and do something to prevent tragedies like this. Like, what exactly has she done to do anything about future Sandy Hooks? I mean, like, has she done anything besides, like, get in Twitter battles with people on progressive causes? Like, what's the point of her exactly? Like, what's your job description, Shannon Watts? You're in charge of Moms Demand Action? Does that mean you just go on Twitter and tweet progressive things and get in fights with, like, random people on Twitter who say AOC is attractive? Like, what's the point of it? But it bothers me so much because there is, like, this professional activist class in this country, and they may act like they're your friend and they care about your causes, but these people do not care about you on the right or the left. Shannon Watts is a grifter. She is the Lincoln Project. She's like all the Tea Party grifting groups that grifted off the Tea Party energy and made millions and millions of dollars fundraising that never went to any actual cause. I mean, like, these professional political grifters are like the low-life scum of the world. They're the worst. I have absolutely no sympathy for any of them. Like, they all bring it on themselves. They're the grossest people on planet Earth. And, like, and she absolutely, like, there are people out there who clearly think Shannon Watts is a Sandy Hook mom because she has deliberately so closely associated herself with that event that, like, in people's minds, she's somehow connected with Sandy Hook and people think she's a Sandy Hook parent. But she's not a freaking Sandy Hook parent. And the fact that she has made a career, she was a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
And now she professionally talks about guns on Twitter. I mean, like, what kind of job is that? Like, you're just taking people's money, people who are upset by things like Sandy Hook and think somebody like Shannon Watts is going to offer them some real solution or real help or real something. Doesn't do anything. Look at the Black Lives Matter movement. They're in all this trouble. They have now shut down because it turns out nobody was running the charity for months and months, and all these grifters just took the money from the top, bought themselves houses, bought their families houses, ran around, made themselves rich. None of that money went to freaking anything useful for anybody. These political grifters are like absolutely the worst people on planet Earth, and they can all I'm like ready for the revolution when all those people get lined
up. Totally.
Like,
and like much like the Sandy Hook's thing, Shannon Watts is happy to use, I'm going to use the left's vernacular, Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Missing white girl privilege, dead white kid privilege. Shannon Watts is happy to use that as much as she can. Sandy Hook, there we go. This is a good one for Shannon. And Chip Goins, this idiot who doesn't know anything about anything, are using. You know, it's a nice high-profile massacre for them to take advantage of, which, of course, is a horrific frigging thing. Frigging thing. But there's money in Sandy Hook.
Of course.
There ain't money in Southside Chicago shooting.
Of course.
There's no reason to do that. She's not doing that.
And
why would she go after that? Because there's no utility in going after the black kids who were killed. As far as Shannon Watts is concerned, whatever. All the utility is getting on TV to talk about Sandy Hook. That's the one. That's the one that matters. Because to her, Black lives don't matter.
Yeah, she's also, by the way, and maybe this is why she was so sensitive about the AOC thing, that she had to come into your mentions and yell at you about it, is she's also somebody who may benefit from the fact that she's an attractive white lady.
Oh, totally.
I mean, like, she's a good-looking white woman. She does yoga. She leads a nice life.
It ain't her intellect, Alice. If you could watch her Twitter menage with me today, you will know that this is not a genius we're dealing with. This is a person who is an easily influenced brain, who is easily coerced, who is easily manipulated, who is hugely, and this is the right big thing, she's hugely insecure, which is, of course, why she's attacking me. Because why would you attack somebody who says women are pretty? Why would you attack somebody who calls you out for saying that you're a Sandy Hook adjacent person when you're really not? Why? Unless you feel like you're a fraud because you have imposter syndrome because you're an imposter, which is what she is.
Right. I mean, all these people are. They all clearly, I mean, she's just Steve Schmidt, but...
Right, but not as good.
But a hotter person.
She's just Steve Schmidt, but Steve Schmidt grew up a little fat and bald and a man and had to learn some skills to get his grift on because he wasn't pretty. She's prettier. So she got to get her grift easier. And here's more. They keep tweeting me right now, Chip Goins. I love that you're more mad at me than even mentioning mass shootings and actual mass shootings. This guy can't stop. None of them can stop. They don't know what they're doing. They're falling into an abyss. I guarantee you. This guy I don't think is employed anymore. I think he worked for a campaign or whatever.
He worked for Ayanna Pressley, another genius.
Right. But
progressive movement builder.
You know what I could...
GBH
I should ask.
contributor.
I will text him right now and see if he wants to come on. And if he comes on... Can you fill for a second?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, though. And these are the same people. Like, he's a GBH guy, Washington. He's formerly Washington Post, formerly wherever. He was formerly Reuters, obviously. Like, these are very serious journalism organizations. He was, when they were fact-checking you about how you didn't know that Shannon Watts was a Sandy Hook mom because you're dumb, he and some other commenter were like laughing at how crazy you are and what an idiot you are, and like a conspiracy theorist, and you worked at the Herald, which is just garbage and a step away from InfoWars, they said. And it's just funny because those are the same people who would want to fact check you for saying something and like take you off Twitter for getting something wrong or for saying something they don't like, and they're like wrong all the time. They're stupid.
Of course.
They don't know anything. That's what's dangerous about the checking misinformation stuff. It's not that like misinformation is good or something, but like it's that the people who think they should be deciding what misinformation is and taking it off the internet are morons. They're stupid people.
Right. And he and she are influencers.
Uh-huh.
And they decide what is truth or not.
Mm-hmm.
And concerned mom, Shannon, whatever her name is, will be called a concerned mom. Sandy Hook adjacent, concerned mom.
Well,
concerned
yeah,
mom.
I mean, and the right's
so
not
I've asked
immune
Chip
from
now
this,
if he'll come
right?
on via text, via DM. I assume he'll say yes.
I mean, but the right's not immune from this either. There's plenty of these on the right, too, like people who turn themselves into
Do you know what Chip is doing right now?
Trying to decide what to say to you.
He is telling his friends, oh my God, he wants me to come on. What should I do? What should I do? You know what his friends are saying?
Don't do it.
No way. He's a fascist.
Don't
he comes on, I'll give him $100.
Don't platform him.
Exactly.
As though
exactly.
he would be platforming
you know what would happen if Chip came on right now? He would hear something he never hears. Never. Something Ayanna Presley never heard. He would hear a voice countering his opinion. Loudly. In a way that's not sensitive to his feelings. In a way that isn't trying to condescend. But as a man. Mano y mano. That's what he would get. And I have had this on the air before. I have lost debates with men who are progressives, but who are still shocked to hear a different opinion.
Yeah.
They don't believe that there's another opinion. They are shocked. What is this? What, are you serious? I have debated people who have said, are you saying that cops don't pull over and shoot black men at an increased rate? And I've said, the hell no, they don't. And I've had a guy say to me, wait a second, did your dad have to tell you to be careful when cops pull you over because you could get shot? And I said, no, but my dad did tell me not to grab a cop's gun and try to blow him away while I get pulled over. And he was shocked that I said it. He had never heard somebody talk to him that way. Never.
I mean, do you remember we were at someone's party and this man, who was actually kind of like a semi-famous cartoonist, put his hand in my face because I said I was pro-life, and he had never heard. He like made some comment about like pro-choice something or abortion.
It was about Rush Limbaugh like, calling what's her name a slut, I think.
Oh, I don't remember exactly, but I like said something about how I was pro-life and XYZ, whatever I said, and he was like, "Stop talking!" Hand right in my face. Stop
talking because you don't deserve to speak on behalf of women, said this man. Now, if Tom Shattuck said that AOC is pretty, what was that called a few days ago?
Misogyny?
Not just misogyny. It was called
mansplaining.
Right. But a man telling a petite woman to shut up with his big arm with muscles in her face is not mansplaining. I
don't think he had that many muscles.
Well,
let's not
pussy,
exaggerate.
but still.
It was a pretty tiny arm, to be perfectly honest with you. I was not really. I did not really feel threatened.
Shocking.
But I was
Chip Goins, who's going after me on Twitter for attacking a Sandy Hook parent.
Is he not
available? Is tweeting every 11 seconds. Now he's not responding to my direct messages on Twitter. Huh. Such a tough guy. I don't understand, Chip, you fucking pussy. Where are you now, my friend? It's incredible. God damn it, these people. And so is she. Shannon, what's her last name?
Watts.
She's a pussy, too. God, these people who are afraid to at all engage. I want to do a dunking tweet. And of course, I get under her skin. I'll get under her skin every day. I could drive her to respond to me for the next 7 months. I've got her so freaking figured out because she's such a dumb with a small brain. Because I've had cats in my life, okay?
I thought that the highlight of my weekend was going to be you getting called a boomer on the internet. Little did I know that all this excitement awaited me for today.
I don't mind that, by the way. I do find the boomers the most, in a way, disgraceful generation. Some of them because they think that they invented everything and they didn't. It's like, we invented smoking pot. It's like, not really. You didn't. We invented having sex. Not really. You know, your parents were a little bit busy.
I think a lot of our listeners are boomers, by the way.
Invading Italy to brag, as you did when you were 22, about having sex. But I think they did. But I'm fine with boomers. But I'm actually not a boomer. But I don't care. I don't care. But I'm not a boomer. My dad was a boomer, and I understand, and I like boomer culture. I could do Ed Sullivan and Tom Lehrer all day.
Is your dad not silent generation?
He was actually a little bit before. He was actually
like
37, so that's a little bit before that. But I get it. But I think it means like anybody old. Mm-hmm. But if you want to call me a boomer, I am old, and if you want to push me in with what the boomers know as a worldview, I'll take it in a second. The boomers were downright frigging enlightened compared to this new generation of wuss asses. Chip Goins is a guy with thousands of people following him who's just accused me of attacking a Sandy Hook mom because I got attacked by a woman who's not a Sandy Hook mom, who has nothing to do with that stuff.
Right, she just makes money off of Sandy Hook moms.
But he doesn't know, and he's a dumb. And he doesn't know how to stop. And now my problem is this: how much do I torture this dude? Because I got him right where I want him. He won't engage me, of course. I've direct messaged him. He won't do it.
You saw his other retweet of you too, right?
No.
Where he complained about you calling her sweetheart.
Was that the original sweetheart? I forgot even which sweetheart that is.
When you called Shannon Watts sweetheart an hour ago.
Okay, yeah. He
said never address women as sweetheart. Not even on Valentine's Day. It's a trash move, and we all see the sexism on display.
You pussy. Dude, freaking get a ball, please. I mean, God, what are we going to do? I got sweetheart because that dude, Charlotte Clymer, 2 weeks ago or last week called me sweetie. And so I used that, too. Take it up with him, okay, Chip Goins? Jesus. But by the way, I'm mad at Rogan for apologizing. You didn't hear he apologized more for saying the N-word and a bunch of things.
No, I know. And The Rock apologized for defending him too with the N-word stuff. He had a whole big tweet where he was like, "Oh, I didn't know he used the N-word when I tweeted that I defended him, and now I'm educated and I know better. Thank you for teaching me," or whatever.
Jesus, dudes, what is this crap? I mean, I understand people are coming to you.
I used to kind of like The Rock, but that's pathetic.
People are coming to you with contracts, etc., but stop it, okay? We're a spoiled country, okay? We're a spoiled romper room of a freaking country now with no problems, which is why we're going around saying, you said N-word, you said sweetie, you said this, you said she's Sandy Hook adjacent.
Well, I mean, I think N-word and sweetie are kind of on a different level.
No, it's bullshit, Alice. This country does not suffer from these problems that they're suggesting that this is Cyril, my 3-year-old son. Hold on.
He's Facebook videoing you?
Yes. Let's see if he's there. I don't think he's there.
He has my phone. That's what he is.
Wow, Chip Goins, the tough guy, just doesn't seem to be following.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think that what people need to understand is that Twitter isn't real. Like, all these people, like, even, like, Rogan and The Rock and, like, people that should, and Shannon Watts, too, and, like, all these people, like, should be bigger than this. Like, why is Shannon Watts taking time out of her Sunday to yell at you on Twitter?
Because she's been exposed as a fraud. She knows she's a fraud. She does what's that called, where they go into the stand-up forums and talk about stuff?
I don't know.
TED Talk.
Okay.
I'm sure she does TED Talks, and people actually,
Probably.
And she gets a lavalier mic and feels important. They mic her up, and she puts the back of the mic in her back pocket and feels, wow, I must have made it. I've got a wireless mic now, and she talks to people, and there's an overhead projector, and she says, wow, I must have made it. I'm a smart now. I'm a smart, even though I don't feel like I'm a smart. And she knows that at the end of the day, she's a fraud. She's not a smart. She's a dumb with a small brain. And I understand that's got to be a tough thing. If you're born with a small brain, like a chipmunk-sized brain, it's got to be tough because there's nothing you can do. The brain doesn't grow. There's nothing you can do. So she's out there with her small brain doing her grift. Well, she looks good. That's all she has. And there's diminishing results. So I get under her skin like I have today, and she can't stop. And I will continue it because she deserves it, because she's trying to use with her small brain. She's a non-player character person on Twitter, big gray person with who wants to make bad content go. Make bad content go away. She is precisely what is trying to destroy Joe Rogan and shut up voices that she doesn't agree with. She is precisely, and I don't want to use this, I understand, she is precisely the kind of person that when it counted said nada about fascists when they destroyed entire civilizations just 50, 70 years ago. That's exactly right.
Well, yeah, and I mean, when I say, like, people don't realize Twitter isn't real, like, Rogan and The Rock and stuff, they get, like, yelled at on Twitter by all these people, and they don't understand that this is fake outrage. Even all these accounts, like, even the ones that are run by real people, because not all of them are, like, Putin doesn't just run right-wing troll accounts that all tweet the same thing. He runs left-wing ones, too. But even the ones that are run by real people that actually believe this stuff, they don't realize how much, like, most of these big influencer type accounts are getting paid for this. Like, this is not, they don't really think this stuff. They just do it. Remember there was a scandal maybe like a year ago or something when or maybe in mid 2020 even, like, I don't remember, it might have been during the election, but that account, there's like a big account, Brooklyn Dad, that's a big progressive account. And the guy, I forgot his name, but he, like, tweets, the conceit of the account is he's, like, this dad in Brooklyn, obviously. Right? And he's, like, a big progressive, and he's always tweeting things, like, about how he's so mad about what Trump did or whatever, right? Like, and then it turned out he was getting paid by campaigns to tweet, like, directly. Like, because it was, and, like, people were upset because he was, like, making all this money to just be a big Twitter influencer and tweet this progressive stuff. And, like, that's... I mean, but there's a lot of that out there, direct and indirect. I mean, like, he was taking an actual literal check to keep his Twitter account going as an influencer. There's people like that. There's people like Shannon Watts that maintain a brand and, like, go and lobby politicians supposedly for stuff, but mostly just fly around the country and raise money and talk about stuff to people and tweet. Like, and they pay their salaries, but they're not, like, volunteer activists or something. She's not stay-at-home mom Shannon Watts, who was so just moved by Sandy Hook. Like, she was married to a progressive politician before that too. Like, I mean, whatever, it's fine, people gotta hustle, I guess, the ways that they do, but, like, you don't have to take it all seriously, because 99% of the stuff that's happening on Twitter is pretend world. Like, I don't even think Chip Goins realizes he's in fake world. Like, I still think he thinks this is real somehow. Like, and this stuff's really happening. He's really engaged in some battle for something. But, like, it's pretend. Shannon Watts is pretend. Like, Moms Demand Action is pretend. Everything, like, Brooklyn Dad's pretend. Like, all this stuff is freaking fake. Sandy Hook was real.
Right.
Like, we agree there. But all this stuff that's sprung up around it is fake. Just like, even in the Tea Party movement, right? Like, the Tea Party movement was a real movement, and people were very upset by, among other things, Obamacare. And that was a real grassroots movement that was really happening. We have, friends of this show who were big involved in, early Tea Party rallies and stuff. Scott Brown was elected as part of this big Tea Party wave in the country, all this stuff. But all these charities that arose out of, or not charities, that's the wrong word, but, PACs, that arose out of it, that were sending you a bajillion mailers asking for money if your name was on a list for ever having donated to, like, anybody ever, that were all sending you all these, like, fundraising mailers. This was fake stuff. This was, like, Lincoln Project stuff where all these people just got rich off it, used none of the money to do anything. I mean, that's how, like, all these political consultant-y people make money. That's one of the things that they were so threatened about Trump with, because Trump really didn't rely on much of that. I mean, there's more of that now in MAGA world, especially like around Trump. But when he was first elected, first of all, nobody thought he would be elected. So that was an issue. But a lot of the MAGA stuff that sprang up around him kind of sprang up after the fact. Like, his campaign itself really didn't benefit from the type of like huge fundraising apparatus that Hillary Clinton had. She spent way more money. And among other things, money is less influential in politics, I think, than people actually think it is. I think actually the Bloomberg campaign was a pretty good test case for how far can money alone get you when there is absolutely no constituency, no basis, like nobody needs your candidacy at all. There's no reason for you to run. Nobody's asking for you, right? Like, and you just literally spend money like crazy to try and make your campaign happen. And he got like 15% of the vote in the states where he like really put out there. Like, I mean, I think that's about as much as you could possibly move the needle. And he spent an insane amount of money.
Right.
Like totally crazy amount of money. Social media influencers, all the things.
And
like,
it bought off a lot of news organizations. No doubt about that. I was familiar with one who... where they
bought advertising in exchange for endorsements.
Exactly.
And I mean, there were tons of like letters to the editor where it was like at the bottom there was like a disclosure: the person writing this letter's wife runs a charity that Bloomberg just donated $10 million to. Like crazy things like that. I mean, he did everything you can do with money to make a campaign successful without having anybody want you to be a candidate, so that's like a good test case. You can get like 10 to 15% of the vote with only money and no other redeeming qualities. So, I mean, like, but you can't win an election and like get a majority of the country with that. Like, people still at the end of the day have opinions and like vote for stuff that they feel like voting for, even if you spend millions of dollars to tell them to do something else. It's even why I think like the Russian spying Facebook ads in Wisconsin narrative of the stolen election is like absurd, because you have no way of knowing like if the people who saw those, like if their opinions were actually influenced or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? Just because they ran some ad on Facebook, like, you don't know. People vote at the end of the day. Like, you spend money to make a case to voters if you're a candidate, but you can't like change our... You can
Sharon
only
Watts
tell them...
has 57 seconds ago tweeted at me, "Oh, hi, Tom. Good to see you're still tweeting about me 8 hours later. Nothing weird about that. I'm a full-time volunteer and donor." Now, I just replied, "Says my stalker, LOL. Check the timeline." Will she or will she not be able to absorb that reply? Alice?
I don't know.
The answer is no. She will not. You know why? Small brain.
Is she a volunteer?
Small
Does she not
brain
take any
Shannon,
money?
small brain Shannon, small brain Shannon, I got you figured out. I could have her, Alice, go to Walmart, pick up dog food, and fill up our dog bowl. This is how small this brain is that I'm dealing with. Small brain Shannon, your brain is so darn small. Hopefully she'll listen to the podcast, though. And get us more listeners.
I hope so. Does she? I mean, but does she actually? Is she a volunteer? Like, does she make money? Like, does she take a salary from Moms Demand Action?
Nothing weird about that. I'm a full-time volunteer and donor. Really? Why does she feel the need to disclose factual, factual, situations or whatever, facts about her life? Why does she feel the need to do that? I'm a full-time volunteer and donor. Why does she feel the need to tell me that? Why do I rate? Why is she telling me that? Why is she telling the world that? You know why?
Why?
Because she's a fraud. That's why. I'm a full-time volunteer and donor. Well, you don't have to tell Tom Shattuck that. I'm just a stalker, right? I've been bothering her for 8 hours, right? Unless I'm on to something. Unless nobody has... Well,
also, she's tweeting about you. She could just mute you and go away.
Of course. But nobody has ever pushed back against her and said, "Hey, lady, are you a freaking fraud?" Now I am, really, for the hell of it. And now she said, no, I'm a full-time volunteer and donor. Now, if I ask her to drill down on the volunteering and donations, Alice, do you know what's going to happen? She will.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's caught. That's what's happening. I don't think I'm going to. I'm more going with the stalking, the situation. Oh, hi, Tom. Oh, hi, Tom. Good to see you still tweeting about me 8 hours later. From the woman who's been tweeting about me for 8 hours with 500,000 people who listen to her. God. Let me tell you something else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a great man or a smart man. Is that another? Can it be another thing about? Oh, here she comes again.
She's still tweeting about you?
Yes, she said something else.
I mean, I guess the point is, even if she doesn't take a salary from Moms Demand Action, she's still making money off of it because people ask her to speak and write things, and she makes money that way, presumably. So.
She's now screenshotted what I sent to her an hour ago as if I started it, which of course I didn't.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, she's, she has a lot of very distinguished awards from lots of places for her activism. She's also a Buddhist who practices yoga regularly and meditates at least once a day, according to Wikipedia. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with her is that she has, like, no reason to be where she is. Like, why is there a Shannon Watts at all? It's not, and why does she, like, get named to all these lists and all these awards? It's just, like, progressives patting each other on the back and being happy. Like, but it's all pretend. It's all pretend world. They live in a fake universe where they have, like, fake awards that they give each other. They gave Cuomo an Emmy. Sometimes I think about that and I'm still amazed. Do you think about that ever? Cuomo and his Emmy? I don't know. Just the incredible thing. It's even like, I mean, there's a parent in Massachusetts who's become very famous for having a trans kid too, who has now turned herself into a professional activist. And she's like written books about having a trans kid, and she like has speaking engagements about having a trans kid. And you know, of course, it's all just like selfless activism, and none of it is coming from her selfish desires at all. But it's like, you know, once you turn the thing into a money-making venture, your like political cause, it becomes a little weird. I just believe, you know, it's an uncomfortable place to be making money off of things like Sandy Hook, or transing kids and any of these things. So. I don't know. Is there anything else going on in the
Nothing.
world?
I replied to my friend Shannon Watts, who's my friend now, Alice, who suggested that I'm stalking her. She screenshotted stuff from earlier today, which now I've screenshotted stuff that she sent me
earlier.
Yes, because she started it.
You didn't seek out Shannon Watts to tweet at her.
Now, and I've said that it's on her, and she's a grifter. Now, she should be, I think, confident in herself and the great work she's done. Mm-hmm. Not taking advantage of dead children. She should be very proud of that work now, and she should stand up for herself and just leave bygones be bygones and walk away from somebody like me. Now, will she? No. Why won't she?
Because she has a small brain.
And she's a fraud. That's right. Because she sells dead kids for a living. That's what she does. And because she feels ashamed at some level for it. And so she can't stop because I've got her number and I see it. You ever see the movie The Player?
No.
With Tim Robbins?
No.
Great movie from like 1991. Lyle Lovett, Tim Robbins. Bunch of people. It was just a great movie. The whole point is, I don't know if it stands up anymore, but I loved it. At the time, it was my favorite thing. The whole point is that he's a studio exec, Tim Robbins. And he's hounded by some wannabe screenwriter who wants to get a movie made. Mm-hmm. Constantly. And at night, the screenwriter hounds him and says, I want you to meet me at this bar. I want you to make this movie, or else I'm going to tell on you. I know that you're having an affair and this and that. He's like trying trying to browbeat and trying to what's it called when you threaten somebody or else you tell the truth about them?
Blackmail?
Blackmail them, exactly. Which I'm sure she's doing right now. She's looking right now saying, please have Tom Shattuck have an affair. Please, is there any way you can find? So this person was doing this to the studio exec, played by Tim Robbins. He met the person in the parking lot, and Tim Robbins killed the person, the stalker.
Mm-hmm.
And so the point is, what the whole movie is about, subsequently, it's a great movie, is that the actual stalker wasn't that guy, but the actual stalker witnessed Tim Robbins kill a guy, so now he's really got something on him.
Mm.
And he's controlling his life. And that's what I feel like I've got on this lady.
Right.
I've got a little kernel of truth. I'm just effing around on a Sunday between naps.
Yeah.
And she feels so guilty. Here she goes again. Can't stop. Another one. Can't stop. 500,000 visitors. Can't stop. It's freaking wonderful. Here's my point to everybody. I'm not trying to be a tough guy or say whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe people. Grifters are everywhere. Grifters they come looking like Donald Trump with comb-overs and try to sell you real estate and try to sell you, tickets, and they try to sell you trolley tickets like I used to do, or fake dinners to fake restaurants, or they come in white suits with beautiful women with long brown hair saying, I'm doing this for Sandy Hook. Grifters come in all shapes and sizes. That's all you need to know. Grifters come in all shapes and sizes. And I didn't even discover this one.
Oh, yeah. She has a book, by the way. It came out in 2019.
Of course she does.
What's it called? She didn't know anything about policy or organizing when she founded Moms Demand Action. I just knew guns were not a solution. Uh-huh. Yeah. Her book is called Fight Like a Mother.
Jesus Christ. Give me a freaking break. So I am happy. It's a beautiful Sunday. I hope you guys are having fun. We've had fun. My friends are over. My brother is over. My friend Mike is over. I have corrupted these people into staying longer than they should have, Alice. Mm-hmm. You've noticed I've used all of my powers.
You are good at that.
And now you're here. Here's another Shannon Watts.
Why
does
she keep tweeting at you?
Is here again. Not at all obsessed with me. Calling me obsessed as she can't stop tweeting again and again. Just think. 500,000 followers. Probably lives in a nice penthouse in Brooklyn. And can't stop. Can't stop. A little piece of information has permeated her mind. And she can't wipe it away. She can't swat it away as much as she wants to tweet. It can't go away. Sorry, Shannon. Not going to happen. Sorry, small brain chip. Sorry, not going to happen. You guys can find all that on Twitter, by the way. Oh, geez. Oh, we have... Oh, okay. We're past the time now, Alice. I forgot. All right. First, we're going to say goodbye to the normal, our listeners, and do the Patreon thing, okay? That work for you, LBB?
Yes. More show to come on the Patreon side. That's patreon.com/burnbarrel if you're looking for that. We are also on Twitter at burnbarrelpod. Tom's Twitter is free if you want to grab your popcorn and take a look at that. That's at Tom Shattuck. I'm at Alice Shattuck. We're also at facebook.com/burnbarrelpodcast and burnbarrelpodcast.com. You can email us if you feel so inclined. That's burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you on the other side for Patreon.